I have to get from my room, walk past her curtain and her room, and go to the bathroom. Does my birth count for anything less than that of a person who delivered vaginally? Hi guys, it's me, it's Sarah, and welcome back to our channel. So today I'm here back to answer another question that's been asked, and it is, how come you don't have a birth vlog of your newborn? Yes, because obviously this is a question that is definitely geared for you if you're a vlogger. If you're a vlogger, you generally are aware that, okay, you vlog every day, you're giving birth. Are you going to have something to show us or not? Well, I do have an explanation behind it, of course. Now that we're vlogging, it's something that's kind of expected, right? Right? Yeah, crickets. Yeah, so this will be an explanation, but it will kind of be like me walking you through the birth in a sense, so you'll get to know exactly what happened as to why I didn't really have much footage. Also, keep in mind that I'm the one that's vlogging 90% of the times. Hubby is getting more in tune in the vlog, so if you guys want to see him do anything in particular, or answer certain, or vlog about anything else, comment down below. Let me know what kind of things you want to see him maybe do, like some fun kind of things to help him loosen up in front of the camera. Anyways, getting back into it. So on the morning of, obviously, I'm the one giving birth and I'm the one that's usually in front of the camera. So now that I have to put this and trust it over to someone else, anything is possible, right? Including
not really capturing much footage.
The morning came, I had to be up to get ready to be at the hospital for like 6 o'clock. No, I had to be there, I think at like 6:30. So by the time got up, showered, shaved, did my thing. Yes, I still shaved the day of. I know. How did I do it? Because my stomach was so big. My OBGYN, the one who saw me, isn't the one who was able to do my surgery because he was going to be away on vacation. It's kind of funny because obviously I was birthing Zoe around Christmas time, so it conflicted with vacation time, and his wife booked them to be away and he didn't know. So obviously that I, wound up having another doctor. The cool thing is that she was a colleague that worked alongside his office, so they're very in tune, with each other as doctors. They know each other well, and she was amazing. So I have no complaints there. So anyways, I knew that ahead of time. So here I am getting ready. We leave, we go to the hospital. Hubby drops me off and whatnot, and I go in. And then what they do then is there's a little bit of a questionnaire. They wanted to immediately hook me up to fluids and whatnot. That's why you go early, because it's prep time. The gap between being there and giving birth was horrific only because I have terrible veins. They're so hard to find, and it was just not very good. So one nurse that was there, she was a younger one, and she was accompanied by an older nurse, and they were trying to get my IV in for the longest time. So the younger one started and it didn't work. She honestly fiddled with my vein forever, and the worst thing is having someone in your arm poking around in there in your vein. That feels, I'm holding my hand retelling the story. Luckily I have a high pain tolerance because I don't freak out during these things, but hubby, on the other hand, couldn't even be there. So he couldn't even film any of that, to be honest. He couldn't film it to save his life because he was on the verge of passing out. So he had to go out of the room because he doesn't like needles, let alone
someone poking one around in, my arm in front of him, and he has to watch.
It didn't work. So she poked me. I think the first one was a normal place here. Then they tried it for 20 minutes. It didn't work. Then they ended up going over here, and that didn't work. And then they ended up going I don't know, on another vein, and that didn't work. And then they were telling me they're going to have to do it in my feet, and a whole hour goes by and they cannot get a vein. So this is when things start to change, because and here we are, we've lost a whole hour on something that we thought we would have been ahead of. I showed up on time, so we thought we'd be either on time or ahead of the game, but because of my poor veins, they weren't able to get started. So here I am now, delayed an entire hour, and then I have to go into the OR, so the operating room. So after that, yeah, the hour passes by, and basically like the hour and a half passes by, and the surgeons came out and they're in search of me, but I'm not even prepared. So I go into the operating room not even hooked up, after just basically sore because they poked around in my arms, in my veins, trying to find, trying to get my IV in, and it wouldn't work. Not to mention, they pumped, I forgot to mention one thing is that, to check if the IV was in, they like pumped some fluid in my arm and pumped it in a pocket in an area that was not my vein. And that was just horrific. It was so gross. But I was just like, okay. And so now I was bruised from that. And yeah, I was just sore everywhere. My arm's just achy because they just spent this whole time trying to find this thing and they didn't. So like I said, I go into the operating room not equipped because I'm not prepared. So then everyone in there, my doctor, the OBGYN who's now going to perform my surgery, she was there. She was holding me and cuddling me, like, while I got prepared. The doctors, they like put ice, was it ice? Or they put either, I think it was a hot pack or a cold pack. I can't remember which one now. And they're like smacking my arm. They put a bandage, like a tight tie on my arm to help my, and ask me to flex my wrist to help bring through my, like, what do you call it? Bring up my veins so they can see it. And this all went on for so long. Like, it took them longer to, once again, deal with the IVs than to put in my epidural or my spinal from my C-section. So this all went on, and while they were doing this, because once again, hubby is not, he can't sit and watch this stuff. He was not in this room. So like the first hour outside in the last room, he wasn't there. And in this time when we took about another hour or 45 minutes, and he wasn't there for that as well. He had to wait outside. And then they had to do, after that, then they did my spinal. And then by the time he came in, it was just like kind of, it all happened so fast because now they're already delayed and there's another surgery scheduled after me. So they're just trying to move fast and do what they needed to do. And they're just like, okay, they kind of just moved so fast that there wasn't any time to really like, whip out his phone and oh my gosh, because he's already anxious that things kind of, I don't want to say, it didn't take a turn for the worse, but things just kind of, they're so delayed and he's already, so yeah, by the time he came in, it was just like, okay, like go, 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 go. Oh, cut me, basically, took the baby out and then trying to stitch me up after and all that jazz. And it all happened so fast. And by that time, I was already kind of like, okay, let's get the baby out here. Let's get the baby here, just because I was just, it's been like, this part was so much torture. It was so much more torturous than just birthing my baby, well, via C-section. It was just, and it's the same thing. Clearly, I gave birth to my kids, regardless of the fact that it was through C-section. Does my birth count for anything less than that of a person who delivered vaginally? We'll save that question for another video. But that's basically what happened. So in that, you guys got to see in a video that I posted, basically showing like a little snippet of the birth, or a little snippet of me being in the waiting room. I mean, that was like the best moments of me laughing and smiling. And I think I may have mentioned, they tried to take my blood once, but honestly, after that, it was just like 2 hours of back-to-back poking me in my arm, poking me all over the place, and just smacking me, whatever they had to do to try to get my veins to pop through so they can even put in my IV so I can get fluids. You don't want to go into surgery without getting fluids, y'all. So yeah, that's basically it. So after, I did show you guys like snippets of recovery, and at the same time, as much as I wanted to capture a lot of it after, there's just like recovery time was different because I did get a private room. So the funny thing is, I didn't know that when you get a private room that even if you still, I mean, I guess it makes sense. If you booked a private room and someone else had one booked just the same, if they're all occupied and full, you just go to the next thing that's available. So I was then placed in like a room that had, it's basically like the next step down from a private room. It's like the double rooms. And this one family beside me, it just so happens that I was placed by a woman who just birthed her baby, but she had a ton of visitors. She had visitors every day, and I'm talking like these rooms are not very big, because the one room that we had to share, I was in a room that was bigger than that when I did end up making it to my private room, like the day before I had to go home. So we had to share this room, and it's divided by a curtain, and over here, all you can hear is chatter, 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 smack, smack, fall, like all these nonsense, like they're just talking, 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 and just so much commotion, because they literally had like 40 people over there behind the curtain talking. So I felt like my space was, I had no privacy. I couldn't record because I am literally divided. I'm literally like behind a curtain and there's someone else there. There's no way to record. There's no privacy. There's no nothing. So I was just kind of like over it. It was very, very, I wouldn't say kind of frustrating, because it didn't give me any comfort. Like I wanted to nap, but I didn't feel like I could nap. And the worst part is, on my way to go to the bathroom, we obviously have to share the same bathroom. And to go to the bathroom, I have to pass her room. So the curtain is here, and this is my room, and this is her room, and the bathroom's over here. And so I have to get from my room, walk past her curtain and her room, and go to the bathroom. Sometimes she left her curtain ajar, and yeah, it was just so uncomfortable. And I was still just wearing my hospital gowns, because honestly, for me, buying all those fancy gowns and whatnot, to me doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm not going to bash anyone who does, but for me, it just doesn't make much sense. I usually have a cesarean. Doctors want to check your incision. They want to make sure you're okay. Not to mention the postpartum bleeding and whatnot. I just don't want to buy something to bring to the hospital to risk the idea of messing it up, and just, just things of that kind. So overall, I was wearing my hospital gowns, and I felt very comfortable wearing it until, and to be honest, even after having a C-section, the nurses are the ones that are tending to you until you finally get up and are walking on your feet. So I felt just kind of like there was like an invasion of privacy. I literally had no privacy. I had to walk past these people all the time, and I just thought, like, it's one thing to have visitors, but it's another thing to have every single member of your family come in. I was in the hospital for about 3 days, and I had to stay in that room about in that room with her for basically like, I think like almost a day and a half, if not fully 2 days. And she had, in that time frame, she literally had, I'd say, about 60 people visit. And that's a lot of people. 60, I'm not going to say like 60, yeah, at least 60 people. That's a lot. And meanwhile, I barely had, like, my family don't live close by, so I didn't have them per se, but it was like hubby and just a family friend that, was around at the hospital. So yeah, I didn't, it was just very polar opposite. I literally had no visitors per se, and she had all the visitors in the world. So that was another big thing as to why we couldn't film the birth of the baby. And yeah, it is what it is. Just happy she's here, and I'm capturing moments, and I vlogged. I'm happy I captured those little moments of her while she was still in my tummy, and it was just good moments. I am kind of happy that I didn't film all the negativity in between, because I don't want that associated with remembering, like, when she was born. I just want it to be positive on a whole. So it doesn't bother me. I have snippets. I have lots of pictures and stuff like that. And I'm going to be doing like a montage coming up to show you guys just some of the stuff that I have. But it's nothing, I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably just show you guys. But that's the story behind why I didn't capture much birth footage. It was just, there are just some ups and downs in there. And there were, yeah, it was just, there was a big inconvenience in having to share a room, because my private room wasn't available upon me getting to the hospital. So I did make it to one, and when I got there, it was just like, like, honestly, it was so cool. I had a private room all to myself. I could control the temperatures of my room. It was quiet. I could actually sleep. I had doors. I could just lock my door. Didn't have to have a curtain. My kids came in, my whole family came in, and there's so much room. Hubby was able to come and sleep at the hospital. How cool is that? How cool is that? So that was really neat. yeah, so that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed my little story time as to why I don't have a birth video. It's like, how come you don't have no birth video of your kids? Why don't you have a birth video of baby Zoe? This is why. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy our channel. Oh, also, guys, comment down below and let me know what kind of videos you want to see. Like I said, all these questions that you guys ask, I am turning them into videos. I am making videos and I'm responding. So let me know if you're liking them, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. Much love, guys. Bye.
Hi guys, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to join the tribe. Subscribe.